Hello everyone, myself Atul. This is my first video on YouTube and I will be covering topics related to knowledge enhancement in this channel. The name of my channel is Gnosis, that is Gnosis, and it is pronounced as Ignosis. Ignosis is a Greek word which means knowledge. So I will not restrict myself to any one particular field in this channel, but will try to cover various topics which will be beneficial to viewers in real life. Depending on the viewership of this channel, I hope to make videos based on viewer demands. So for this, I need your support. Do subscribe to my channel if you really like my videos. So starting with the first video of my channel, that is stress management. So stress, I am not talking about the physical stress or the stress as we know in physics, that is force acting per unit area. I am talking about the mental stress. So let us first understand the technical definition of the word stress that we are hearing a lot in today's world. So there are various definitions available, but the best definition that I like is given by Dr. Sales. He is an expert in stress management. According to him, stress is a non-specific response of a body to a situation. I repeat, stress is a non-specific response of a body to a situation. Let us keep in mind the non-specific response of the body. So one thing we must understand in the beginning itself, that no training program, no lecture, no seminar ever talks about zero stress or stress elimination. Everyone talks about stress management. So we all should understand that stress will be there in the daily life. It is how well we can manage this stress. So I have prepared this lecture on a paper. So in between I will be referring to the notes so that I don't skip on anything. So next, we should understand why we are susceptible to stress nowadays. Like if we talk about our father or grandfather's age, there the stress was not so much prevalent. But in today's society, we are very much prone to this word stress. So let us understand the history of the mankind, or the human history of the human. Our bodies were designed hundreds and thousands of years ago. The modern man, as we know today, is the closest ancestor of the modern man is Homo sapien, which emerged around 300,000 years ago. At that time, man survival was based on either the fighting or the flight situation. That is, he has to either fight with the situation or he has to run away from the situation. So let us understand a life-threatening situation. A caveman is there around 300,000 years before. So he is on his routine hunting schedule, and during the hunting time he encounters a lion. And so what will his body response be? Either he can fight with that lion or he can run away from that situation. So during this time, that is the flight or the fight situation, the body, it releases the adrenaline hormone. This is released by the pituitary gland. So that pituitary gland senses the situation and accordingly releases the adrenaline rush into the bloodstream. That immediately provides a huge, enormous potential of energy to the human body so that he can act accordingly. But this situation is now no longer required in the modern world. But our body chemistry hasn't changed much. Let us take an example of the modern day world. Suppose there is a corporate meeting or the year end closing meeting. The salesperson guy, the senior salesperson guy, he's taking the meeting of his juniors and reviewing the various sales targets that they have achieved in their respective areas. So when he looks at the review of the sales actual situation, he finds that one of his team members or one of his junior person has not you can say achieved the sales figure as given to him, and the year on year growth is negative in his case. So he scolds him in front of everyone. So let us understand the brain situation, or the how the brain is functioning of that junior person. His brain will sense that this is a life threatening situation. His brain will immediately sense it and accordingly act, and accordingly it will, you can say, activate the pituitary gland to release the adrenaline hormone into the bloodstream. So by releasing of this hormone, he will be having the excess energy. But with this excess energy, what he can do? He can do nothing. Neither he can fight with his boss, nor he can run away from that meeting. So that excess energy in the bloodstream that is already there, that needs to be metabolized. So during metabolization of that excess energy without doing any physical activity, it leads to many psychosomatic diseases, and stress is one of them. Hope I make it a little bit clear why stress is there and how it is generated. Like we all talk about stress, but why is it so? It is a natural response of our body. So now let us understand the different type of stresses in our modern day life. There are basically four different type of stresses. First one is the eustress. I will spell it out, EUSTRESS, eustress. This is not at all harmful. This is due to sudden joy or sudden happy moment. Suppose anyone won a lottery, he will be under eustress. Or you are not expecting promotion this year, but you got promotion, you will be under eustress. It is not that long lasting and not at all harmful. Next one is the distress. DISTRESS, distress. This is opposite to the eustress, as explained above. It is caused when a person is suddenly very sad or angry. Suppose in case of a death of a close relative, the person will be immediately very sad. Or in a meeting there is certain things and a person gets suddenly angry. So we will be under distress. This is harmful, and this can be somehow managed with mutual trust within the team. But certain death situations you cannot avoid until you have a strong mental setup. Next one is the hyperwork stress. This is also, you can say, prevalent in modern day society. This stress arises due to the deadlines. Like today is the deadline for submitting of the data. Today is the deadline for the report. Today is the deadline for achieving the sales target. So this hyperwork stress, you can say, is more prevalent in today's modern corporate world. So the only remedy to this is good planning of your work. So next one is the hypostress. So hypostress is the opposite to hyperstress. Hypostress is, you can say, person experiences hypostress whenever he is getting less than optimal work. A person is capable of doing much more work, but actually he is getting less work. This is also more seen in the retired persons when the sudden, you can say, their lifestyle changes from hyper stress situation to hypo stress situation. This is more penetrating, long lasting, slower acting, but has a more disastrous effect. So overall, these four stresses, they can lead to, you can say, the change in the heart rate of the person, change in the blood pressure, change in the blood glucose level or the fluctuating glucose level, gastric disorders. There are much more which can stress lead to. I will not get into that details. Now let us come to the point. Now we all understand that stress is the natural response of our body. It is the non-specific response of the body. It will be there depending on our lifestyle. We have understood the types of stresses, but now how to manage this stress? We cannot avoid it. The only way is how can we manage this stress? So I have listed down 5 6 different things that how effectively we can manage this stress. This I have learned over a period of time through my own experiences, through the trainings, through the books that I have read. So I will be sharing with all of you. First one is that you all should know yourself, your personality type. What type of person are you? Are you a bold type of person? Are you outspoken? Are you shy? Are you timid? So according to this, I can give you one simple formula, 3A. A, A, A. That is, you encounter a situation, you can handle that situation in three ways. First one is accept that situation as it is. Second one is to avoid the situation. And third one is to act on the situation. You need to do any one of the activities in order to avoid stress. That is, accept it, avoid it, or act on it. Three things are there: accept, avoid, act. Second thing is that in now world is comparison. Everyone is comparing with another person. So comparison as such, you can say, is not so bad if done properly. So like if I am comparing that, okay, I am at here position, my immediate, you can say, senior, he is at a much more comfortable position or much more highly respectable or earning position than me. So I should not compare that. Comparison should be accomplished with the action. So comparison with action, it leads to competitiveness. And comparison without action, it needs to jealousy. And jealousy further needs to stress. So we should understand that, okay, comparison is fine, but comparison should be accompanied with a action. I should, if I compare myself with another person, I should have an action in my mind ready that how can I be at that person's position or in that respectable position. That will arise to competitiveness. But if only comparison, oh, he's at so much position, that will arise to only jealousy and stress. Third and most important way to manage stress is, this is a new concept that I will be teaching you. This is the circle of concern and circle of control. So let us imagine one circle and one bigger concentric circle outside it. So the inner circle is our circle of control. That includes all the activities that we can control. And the bigger circle is the circle of concern, which contains all our worries, and we are not taking any action in this circle. So it will be better if we increase our circle of control and reduce our circle of concern. Now let us also understand this thing with an example. Like, if I say that there is an earthquake in China or there is an earthquake in Japan, that is just my circle of concern. I can't do anything about it except worrying. That is my circle of concern. Let us take a more realistic example, a real life example. Suppose you tell your kid that tomorrow we will be going for a theme park. We will have rides there, or we will go to some water world, water park, anything. So kid will be highly delighted. He will be having a lots of ideas in his mind. How can he enjoy his day? He will be packing his bag. He will be keeping everything that he needs tomorrow, because he is only acting in his circle of control. Whatever activities he can control, he is only acting on that, and he doesn't have any circle of concern. But similar activity, if an adult has to take care or his father has to take care, his father will be worried about, first thing, the traffic jam tomorrow. What will he do in case traffic jam is there? Second thing he can worry about is the parking, whether he will get the parking or not, whether he will get the tickets to the park or not, whether everything will be fine or not. He is not acting on anything. He is just showing his concern. That is, he is having a big circle of concern rather than the circle of control. So what he can do is he can increase his circle of control and reduce his circle of concern. How can he increase his circle of control? Like, he can check his car, like, okay, my car is fine, it will not give me any trouble. He can plan his activity or the plan of travel accordingly, that he can, you can say, start early morning to avoid the traffic situation. By doing this activity, he can get a good parking slot also. He can do the pre-booking of the tickets. In this way, many things can be done in any situation in order to increase our circle of control. But we are always increasing our circle of concern. So by reducing our circle of concern and increasing our circle of control, we can reduce stress. So this was the third thing to manage stress. Next, fourth thing is love your body. This is most important thing. You need to love your body. You need to exercise regularly. At least walk. I don't say that both in the morning and the evening. At least fix one time, morning or evening, whichever is comfortable to you. At least walk 30 minutes. Walk briskly. Second thing is stay away from liquor, tobacco. Mind what you eat. Whenever you are feeling low, you should take a high protein diet. You can take vitamin mineral supplements. You should avoid oil fried food. And the first thing that you can do in the morning after having your glass of water, you can always have fresh fruits in the morning. That is a really good thing to do. And fifth thing is that love your mind. Like you love your body, you need to love your mind. That you can do by doing regular yoga and meditation. Next thing that I will suggest you is to indulge in the act of kindness. Help someone who is in need. So I can give you one formula on that also. You should remember DOSE. That is dose. DOSE. These are the 4 chemicals or hormones that are needed in our brain to keep us happy or stress free. D stands for dopamine. O stands for oxytocin. S stands for serotonin. And E stands for endorphin. So in order to increase our dopamine, D, this can be achieved by setting your targets, by achieving your life's goal. Your dopamine level will increase. You will feel good. Next is oxytocin. Oxytocin can be increased by hugging your, you can say, loved ones, by hugging your kids, by hugging your parents, your grandparents, your spouse, your better half, you can release your oxytocin, or your friends, you can do this hugging activity. Next is how to increase your serotonin. Serotonin can be increased by helping others, by doing small acts of charity, small acts of good. Like you have seen many times, billionaires, they are donating millions and billions of rupees in charity, that they are doing just to increase their serotonin level. I'm not talking about that much level of charity, but whatever good can you can do at your own end. Maybe you can teach one kid who is in need, who the parents of the kid, they are unable to take some tuitions. You can guide him on the weekends, guide him or her on weekends. You can give them books in order they need for their higher studies. You can sponsor any one kid for the little bit help, whatever you can do. Next is endorphin. Endorphins are released whenever you exercise, you stay fit, your body is healthy, then endorphins are released. And in the end, I would like to say, have fun, spend time with your family. So life is short, do enjoy your life. This is the only ways by which you can have a stress-free life, a good life. So all the very best, and thank you. Hope you have liked my video. Since this was my first video, if any suggestion is you have observed any improvement, you can suggest me. It's most welcome. So thank you all.